Guess what song I'm singing? Do, 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 do.
Why did it look like you were doing a really good impression of Fruit Ninja?
I was cooking like a chef because I'm a 5-star Michelin.
Hi, we are.
NoonaTalk. I'm Sophia.
I'm Zara.
We are NoonaTalk. We are a podcast where we talk about K-pop, K-drama, K-culture, K-beauty, K-food, and everything about being a K-stan, especially if you're a Desi stan. But we welcome everyone.
Yes, we have episodes every week here on YouTube where you can watch the video version. So subscribe to us for that. But if you just want the audio version, we're on all podcasting platforms like Spotify, Apple, Amazon, so many more. And also we're on Instagram at NoonaTalk, exactly like it sounds, where you can follow us for more of our other random updates and food tasting series that is going on. Why? Who knows? Who knows?
Unofficial.
Unofficially, yeah.
We just
That's
like eating.
yeah. So what are we doing today?
Today we are talking to a stay. What is a stay, you may ask?
I do ask.
So today we're going to find out everything about being a Stray Kids fan, aka a stay, with our very special guest Sanne from Sweden.
So she's going to tell us all about their amazing music, what content you should watch, especially if you are just a beginner into the Stray Kids fandom. So let's get into it, yeah.
Get into it, yeah.
Today we are joined by Sanne from Sweden. So say hi, Sanne.
Hi guys. Thank
Tell
you
us
for
a bit
having me.
about yourself. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I'm a 30-year-old Stray Kids lover, I guess. And I do some reels on Instagram. That's
Some
pretty much
reels
it.
are hilarious.
Thank you.
Lots of
Thank you
them.
so
How did you find Stray Kids? How did you get into, or not just Stray Kids, K-pop as a whole?
Oh yeah, that goes way back. I found Kim Jong-guk in 2005 and
Oh.
had like a really big period where I listened to all his songs. But then I've been more of a casual K-pop listener. Like I was around 2012 when Psy's Gangnam Style and Fantastic Baby from Big Bang came out. I had a period around there where I listened very much to at least those two. But it wasn't until late 2019 when I found GOT7 that I was like, okay, this my jam. This I'm stuck for life now. And then through GOT7 content and like getting recommended videos on YouTube, I got to know Stray Kids and I just fell in love with the goofy humor. It's very similar to GOT7.
So what was your first Stray Kids encounter? Like, was it a goofy video? Was it a song? Like, what was the first moment that you fell for Stray Kids when you realized, oh,
I feel so bad because I don't remember my first my first video or something. I was consuming GOT7 content like crazy. I'm talking 24/7 watching, just interested, wanted to learn everything about them, like the members, the personalities, their discography, everything. So I don't really remember because I was so into my GOT7 era that I don't remember my first encounter with Stray Kids. But I know it was one of their earlier songs. I can't remember if it was Voices or Insomnia. I saw the music video because it got recommended to me. And the first member that stood out was actually Woojin. And that's a bit controversial, I know.
yeah.
But that was the first time where I was like, oh, this voice. Who
Yeah.
is this? Wow. But I didn't start standing them until I saw Felix in the music video for God's Menu.
Oh,
That was the standing moment. I saw, the famous
cooking like a chef.
Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah. Oh, I'm in this bitch for life. Yes. Yes.
Now, I am somebody who's maybe heard some Stray Kids songs. I can recognize some of the members, but for other people out there who may be in the same boat as me or worse, how would you describe Stray Kids and like their music?
I would describe their music and like the members very differently, because
Okay.
their members I would describe as happy go lucky. Like, of course, there's depth to them because no person is two dimensional, but they're super fun. They're kind of crackheads. uh, super funny, all of them, and very kind and humble. And but their music is very loud, very
Yeah.
loud. There's a lot of things happening, and that's one of the aspects I love about their music, because you can listen to the song 10 times and discover new things each time you hear it. And I love that about the songs, even though they like dip into many different genres, they still have like their own unique sound.
And if somebody was trying to get into Stray Kids, what is maybe a good album or a good song for them to start off with?
I usually I've gotten this question on my Instagram, and I think for me I'd recommend like God's Menu or Backdoor,
Hmm.
because they had they probably have already encountered it, especially if they know about K-pop. They probably
Yeah.
have seen some clips or something like that. And
Hmm.
like psychology wise, if you watch something more a few times, you're more inclined to like it. So I'd probably start with those. Also, they're bangers.
Yeah.
But I think also their earlier works is more of they're a bit more experimental.
Yeah.
Like
True, true.
and they're very different from each other before they like found their thing. And now you can see like it's a it's a very clear thread through all of their later works. Like you can
Yeah.
distinctively hear it's a Stray Kids song. Either it's Maniac, Thunderous, or God's Menu. Like from God's, like around early 2020, like with Backdoor era and God's Menu
Hmm.
era till now, it's a very, very clean, distinctive sound. And I think with most Stray Kids music, because there's so much going on, like they have like so many like subtle things that happen, both
Hmm.
musically and like they may, like in Thunderous, for example, they take a car horn out of nowhere and just places in the song, and it works. I don't know why, but it works.
Hmm.
Random sounds and like sound effects in their songs, and
Hmm.
it just works. It just
Like
makes
the
sense.
bird song in Maniac, like it's just
Yeah.
it's a clever use of natural sounds.
Yeah, and like the
Hmm.
screwdriver in Maniac, for example.
Mm.
And I think like with Tortoise in the Hair, it's because there's so many different sounds and sound effects. It can,
Yeah.
I think, for a new person who hasn't listened to Stray Kids, maybe like the Tortoise and the Hare could be like a
It's
bit
very
all over the place. It's
experimental.
hard. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard to like decipher what is sound,
What
like
is it?
music
Yeah.
sound, and what is effects. And I think that's why they get like the biggest criticism that they get. I know a lot of like anti fans says that their music sound like construction work. That's one of the like biggest,
Yeah.
one of the most underrated things about Stray Kids is that because they have a lot of songs like Thunderous and Maniac and God's Menu, where there are a lot of sound effects and stuff like that, I think they underestimate them and how versatile they are, because they have a lot of ballads too,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
very, very like fluffy kind of music, like soft and fluffy and like really feel good type of music too.
Hmm.
So it's a shame not to check them out, honestly.
So for like a first time listener or someone who's kind of heard about K-pop, I'm sure everyone's heard the term Racha, but they
Mm.
probably don't know what's Racha. How is it related to Stray Kids? So like, can you tell us from a fan's perspective what that is and why is it talked about so much?
Oh yeah, so Three Racha is the producing unit in Stray Kids. Uh, it consists of Bangchan, Han Ji Sung, and So Changbin. And I think they were actually a group pre-debut, even before Stray Kids debuted. They made songs together, and yeah, they make all of Stray Kids songs, produce.
That's
Can you tell us
cool.
a bit about the other members as well, like who they are and what maybe if there's roles that they play in the group? Like now we know
Yeah,
three, but like the others as well.
yeah, we have official subunits,
Okay.
and so Three Racha is the producing unit, which makes the music, and then you have fans call them Dance Racha, and
Oh.
that's Lee Felix, Lino, and Hyunjin, and from my understanding, they make most of the choreographies or
Oh.
like help out with like especially Minno. I think he has the main dancer position,
Oh.
and he helps out with like teaching the other members their choreography and stuff like that. And then we have the third subunit that's official. That's vocal racha, consisting of Yongin and Sungmin, and they do most of the like high notes and more vocal. The fans have now branched out of that,
Mhm.
so it's pretty pop. I mean, if you're new to Stray Kids and new to the fandom, you've probably heard of like Meow Racha
Oh.
or Nuna Racha. And
Tell
that's
us more.
and that's like the fans' own version of lumping together different members to form new subunits that's
Oh. Okay.
unofficial. So Meow Racha is Lino and Felix because
Are they like cats?
yeah, they
That's so
resemble cats. It's a good
But okay,
name.
so we've covered music, we've got members, and I like with every other K-pop group under the sun, there is a lot of extra content being made. There's like
Oh yeah.
variety show appearances. I know Chan's Room is like a really popular source. I know a lot of people talk about it constantly.
I think Chan's Room has its own like separate audience. Like apart from
Yeah.
stays, I think
I
everyone
think
tunes
so
in.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is a good place for somebody to start watching? I mean, of course, eventually, if you're a stay, you're going to watch everything,
Mm.
but it's very overwhelming, and you don't know where to start.
Oh yeah, and I think the one thing that confused me a lot when I first came into the fandom, like not just the terminology and like inside jokes and iconic lines and stuff like that, because that I mean every K-pop group has that, but
Mm.
for me it was differentiating between like the shows the boys did, like Stray Kids Talker,
Oh.
for example. What is Stray Kids Talker? Why is everyone talking about it? So I'd recommend checking out the Talker, which is behind the scenes footage of their activities. So they have a camera following them around, and they do episodes. So like when they're on tour, you can see like backstage footage of that. And then they have different variety shows that they do also. So I think Stray Kids Code, for example, they play games or do different activities that show more of the personalities behind the members. Oh, Two Kids Room is also one series
Oh.
that's really good.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, that's I think from my understanding it's the dormitory they live in, that those who share rooms like talk about their relationship and like
Yeah.
Oh,
just down
It's
to
very
earth.
wholesome.
Yeah, it's very wholesome. The
that
guys are
sounds
very wholesome.
great. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of people out there who just because of globalization have heard a lot of Western artists before they've heard K-pop. And if
Mm.
they want to say compare Stray Kids to something, or like at least not all of Stray Kids, but maybe their last
Maybe
couple
a
of
song
albums
or something like
or a
that.
song to something that a Western artist might do, who would you think is a equal
Close.
comparison so that they could have, yeah, so that they could have an idea of what they sound like.
I can't really find another artist that sounds like Stray Kids. So I don't think I have anything to compare them to.
No,
Especially,
that's so
I
nice.
think the closest I can, like, sound wise, I can compare them to is 80s. But
Oh.
that's not a Western artist. So,
I think maybe someone who listens to hype hip hop might enjoy Stray Kids. I think
oh yeah, I think
uh,
so too.
like
R&B, hip hop.
close to underground hip hop. Like that's what I feel their sound is more like. It's not very
Mm.
mainstream, but if you listen to underground with mixing in like different elements of rock and metal, then it's closer.
Okay, I
So, I mean, maybe people won't know, but Stray Kids also release a lot of like outside of their albums, they just release music for free. They release it on YouTube and everything. So, do you have like one or two favorites which you think like someone should definitely check out? Something like maybe Makne or Top or something else that
Oh yeah.
is worth
Um,
looking into?
I mean, that depends on what type of style you like. If you like the really hardcore thing, I'd check out Heyday by Three Racha. It's a really, really good song, very high tempo. Also, like, they have released like unofficial songs, or like Chan made songs during his lives just for
hmm.
shits and
Oh.
giggles. That's it.
Oh.
So it's unofficial, but you can find them on SoundCloud because they have recorded the live version and then put it out on SoundCloud. So my favorite is I Can't Live Without Changbin,
I
one of
think
the
I
Oh,
have
lessons from
a
Love.
final and very important question to ask.
Yeah.
Who is your bias?
Oh, yeah. This is I get this a lot on my Instagram, and I'm an OT8 stan, so all of them. Because I'm a middle child, I can never choose a favorite. All of them are, they're so unique and individual. Like, I could never, it would literally be like picking between your own kids. I could never. If I had to
oh,
save one of them, I'd sacrifice myself because I I could
oh.
never pick. I could never pick any of them.
So we'll do now a quick fire round. I'll just like shoot questions at you, and you have
Oh,
to immediately like the first answer that comes to your mind, obviously related to Stray Kids. One Stray Kids album has to be erased from history. Which one is it?
mixtape. No,
You're going on a road trip. Which Stray Kid are you taking with you?
Chan. He's super wholesome, and I have a lot of questions. Of I want to see what's in his computer.
Something in your house has broken down. Which Stray Kid can help you fix it, and which Stray Kid can never help you fix it?
Lino. I think Lino would be able to fix anything, probably. And I feel kind of bad, but I think Changbin might not be able to fix things because he can be very impatient.
If you could only watch one Stray Kids performance for the rest of your life, which one would it be? Any live performance, anything they've ever done live.
Red Lights, OT8 version.
You're going out on a poetry reading event. Which Stray Kid are you taking with you?
It has to be Lino again.
Okay, your friend is really unwell and you have to take a Stray Kid to cheer her up. Who are you taking?
Felix, of course.
Okay, last one. You are the judge of a cooking competition, and all of the Stray Kids members are cooking something. Whose food are you eating, and whose food are you definitely not eating?
Okay, I have to pick Felix again for he's famous for making brownies. I want to
Yes.
taste them. And I feel like I'm throwing Changbin a lot under the bus here. I'm sorry, Changbin. But yeah, it would probably have to be Changbin.
That's okay. He's skilled in other ways.
Yeah, but I think I don't know if he's good at cooking. I know Lino's very good at cooking, and Felix is.
Awesome. Where can our audience find you? How can they follow you, keep up with everything you do, on what platforms?
Oh yeah, so I have Instagram, and my user handle is Sunny Enebrant. It's yeah, it's kind of complicated, but it's the name on the screen. Uh,
Yeah, we'll add
and
it.
yeah, I also have a YouTube account where I mostly like put out shorts. So it's like Mostly it's the same content as my Instagram, but I have a little bit more mixed things there. So I also plan on putting out more of different K-pop idols, not just Stray Kids, on my YouTube. So yeah,
Awesome. And
That's
what is
really nice.
one thing you're looking forward to in 2023?
I just ordered merch.
Exciting.
Nice.
Yeah,
What did you get?
they came out with a collection of like handmade things, like the member produced themselves. So I bought
Ooh.
like a bracelet made by Felix and a ring set made by IN. That was really cute. So I
Oh.
had to get them. And also, I wish they would tour in Europe. If they do, I'll be the first one to buy a ticket to see them.
But thank you so much for joining
Hopefully we
us
get
today.
Europe tours. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a blast.
Oh,
Thank you so
I'm
much.
glad.
Same.
It was lovely getting to know so much about Stray Kids and yourself.